How's it going? Wooden Spoon Supercoach here. Congratulations to the Broncos for winning the No One Gives a Shit Cup. It is good to see your team do well in the preseason, though. Let's be real; it's a bit of fun. Again, another week with some big score lines. There hasn't been a shortage of entertainment. What there is a shortage of, though, is good stats on the desktop version. On my phone here, I've got all the stats I need, but here we've just got points, tries, conversions, and kicks and shit. It's a bit useless. I'm going to be referring to my phone a bit, sorry, but it's got to be done. First game, Manly Penrith. There isn't a whole lot of relevance here. Clayton Falalo was a little bit not disappointing, but less involved at fullback. Lehigh was good again. Garrick wasn't very involved. He didn't play very much. This Navram Willett kid, he could be something. He's had a few good games in the preseason. With Manly's outside back depth, though, I don't know how long it's going to take him to get a spot, and I fear he'll probably get signed by someone else. But that's just how rugby league goes. Will it work out for him? Oh, God. Ethan Bullimore had a great game. You don't often see a forward burn a fucking fullback to score a try, so that was awesome to see from him. But yeah, not too much to go over here. We'll move over to the Tigers and the Eels. Better game for Jarrell Skelton this time. And we'll start with the Tigers and then we'll move to the Eels. So we've actually got Alex Twal scoring the highest for the Tigers. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, did he score? Because then I owe you guys $20 if he does. If you didn't see my last video, first try that Alex Twal scores this season, and I will put $20 to the prize pool. I think that's what I said. Lockie Galvin had a good game. Adam Dewey had a good game. He is quickly becoming more and more of an option, especially since it looks like he's taking the kicking from Coruscant, at least while Coruscant's suspended. So that's good. Alex Seyfarth is an option that a few people are talking about. I don't have a strong enough opinion on him to go either way. So, look, he's scoring all right. According to the app, he's playing 80 minutes, but I'm pretty sure the minutes are wrong here. Terrell May looked really good. He only played a half of footy and ended up with 45 fantasy points, that is, so it probably converts to a bit more in Supercoach. Jack Bird looked decent. Jarrell Skelton looked a bit better. Let's have a bit more of a closer look at his stats. So, 20 runs for 171 meters. That's very good. 61 post-contact, 4 tackle busts, a line break, 2 tackles, and 1 error. So, better from him. He looks more involved, and I think he will be staying in my team. Heath Mason had a good game as well. The Finus had decent games. Royce Hunt is starting to look like a bit of a trap. So I can't recommend going near him. Moving on to the Eels. Oh boy, I am now scared about Iongi and not having him. I still don't think I'm going to pick him. To start with, at least. I'm thinking we watch how he goes. If he kills it, I'll bring him in for price changes. And I think that's the method a lot of people are going to be going for. Jack Williams, named in the leadership group for the Eels. So he is clearly making some good impressions over there. Not sure what he's priced at, but he could be worth a look. Jermaine Hopgood is a little bit slept on, but with the options available, I don't really see it. Kelma Tuolangi only scoring 17 fantasy points. I don't know how many minutes he played, but especially after last week, he is heating up a bit. And I think we'll see him in a lot of teams, along with Charlie Geimer. Brendan Hands didn't get the 80 minutes this time, so it doesn't look like he's going to be an 80-minute hooker. And I can only recommend him if he does play 80 minutes. Otherwise, the cash gen's just going to be really slow and you're going to be stuck with him, kind of like a Danny Levi from last year. Zach Lomax, didn't really know how well he played, but we know he's a gun, so not too relevant there. I think that's all we've got to go over here. Will Penasini had a good amount of run meters as well with 130. Yeah, this Iongi thing is starting to scare me. But I feel like I've already committed, and I really like the sound of having 4 fullbacks in KO Weeks, Trebojevic, Ponga, and Walsh. Moving on over to what do they call this game again? The Charity Shield. Bloody hell, how many tries? 13 tries in this game. Having a look here, I did watch pretty much all the games this weekend. I just watched the KO minis for, but I did kind of loosely watch this one. Did have a big weekend with a couple of the boys' birthdays and stuff. So, Sione Fainu with a 10-minute hat trick. And didn't he get a quadric? Yeah, he did. First try as well. Bloody hell. If the Tigers look like they're liking... Tigers, what am I saying? If the Dragons look like they're going to be going that way a lot, he could be an option. I mentioned last week with Cam Murray dropping out that Keon is becoming a great option. And if he's going to be scoring tries like this, then Jesus, he could be a very, very good option. I don't have him in my team at the moment. I would have to sacrifice an Olakawatu or someone along those lines to get him in, which I'm not stoked about. Jamie Humphries making Dodd look like he doesn't exist. Do not pick Dodd. Do not pick Dodd. I don't like it at all. There could just be some cobwebs, like Super League to the NRL. It's night and day. It could just take him some time to adjust, but can't recommend him. Val Holmes. I was cold on Val Holmes going to the Dragons, and this is just a trial, but fuck, the guns over there are looking good. Gutho looked good. Val looked good. I don't think... Gutho's a bit rogue, but he is cheaper, so he could score his value. But Val, I can't talk you out of picking him. I think the Dragons are going to do a bit better than everyone expects this year. So I'm not even going to bother looking at the stats on PC because it is useless. So in a fantasy scoring sense, obviously Sione Fainu scoring 4 is going to bump him up a lot, but it doesn't look like he did much more than score those 4 tries. He had 10 runs for 131 meters. Okay, that's pretty good. But 10 runs, 11 post contact. He's dropping to the ground as soon as he gets touched. 3 tackle busts. So I just ate my words immediately there. 2 line breaks. Yeah, look, standard winger stuff. Yeah, that's fine. Val Holmes actually scored the same as him with 4 try assists instead of 4 tries. Were there any line break assists with that? 2 line break assists and a line break himself. So Val is seriously a good option, and if you can afford him, I can't talk you out of it. Ryan Couchman had a good game. His brother, not as much, but they're both really good players, and I would go Ryan Couchman if you were going to pick one, but I feel like there's just better options. Damien Cook also had a good game, but we're just not sure about the minute split there. Lockie Ilias and Kyle Flanagan are severely slept on. If you're looking to go for a cheap pod in the halves, I like those 2 options. I think they can both make a decent amount of money. Flanagan more so than Ilias, I think. And I'm not seeing too much else relevant here. Loco Pacifici Tonga scored 16 points in I don't know how many meters. 6 hit-ups, 8 runs. Yeah, hopefully he gets in. It would be very nice to have a bottom dollar guy in the forwards there. As for the Rabbitohs, Jamie Humphries top scoring with 66 fantasy points. I wish they had a column here for Supercoach points. Makes a lot of sense. Anyway, Humphries with a try himself, 2 try assists, 3 hit-ups, 12 runs, 86 meters, 14 post contact, 3 tackle busts, a line break assist. Just crazy involved and he didn't even play the full game. Peter Marmazelis did okay. Is that from attacking stats? No. No tries, no try assists. So where did his points come from? He got a tackle bust, a line break assist, and 43 tackles. If he's doing that consistently, he might have to make way for Pakes, because that is a very, very good work rate. Jai Gray, reliable as always. I love watching Jai Gray. I love just like little fullback getting shit done. Keon had a great game. Isaiah Tass. Yeah. So last video, I pretty much said it's time to fade all of the attacking Souths players. So that kind of rules out Isaiah Tass, rules out Tyrone Munro. However, could Jamie Humphreys be good enough to get these guys some attacking stats? It's not something I'd be rolling the dice on straight away. But yeah, we'll have to keep a close eye on the Rabbitohs. It's going to be a tough season for them, but the Wayne factor, you can just never fully count them out. Next up, we have the Broncos taking on the Bulldogs. 30-14. Benjamin Takora picking up a try. That's good to see. Yeah, the usual suspects here in Mariner, Arthurs, Cobbo, Reynolds. Jacob Preston, that was a great try. What did he run? 50, 60 meters to score that one? God, he's a gun. And I want him so bad. But thing is with the Bulldogs, with this Kiraz injury, they looked a bit less impressive without him. And again, just a trial, but you know, this is all the information we've got to go off right now, so may as well delve into it a bit. So top performing players for this game, we have Kobe Hetherington and Jacob Preston with the most tackles for their respective teams, Marty Tapau and Jacob Preston with the most run meters, Jock Madden and Blake Wilson for the most line breaks, and then most fantasy points, Kobe Hetherington and Jacob Preston. So Preston show here, even in a losing team. Kobe Hetherington also looks like a really good cheap option. I don't mind him. I think he is in the 300s, if I'm not mistaken. Reece Walsh, a little bit underwhelming. He got a try assist and no tackle bust, no line breaks, a line break assist, and offload. So we all know that Walsh is rocks and diamonds, and I'm a little bit reluctant having him in my team because of that. I am liking my more consistent players at the moment, like my Kirazes, my Dylan Lucases, Isaiah Yo, those kind of guys. So in terms of fantasy scoring, Kobe Hetherington and Takora top scoring for the Broncos, followed by Mariner, Corey Jensen, and Selwyn Cobbo. And for the Bulldogs, obviously Jacob Preston, Max King, Kurt Mann, Harry Hayes, Curtis Morin. So Preston and Max King probably being the most relevant names there. Toby Sexton did okay. I don't mind him as a pod. Curran has got himself suspended, so that could be good for some minutes for some cheap forwards from the Bulldogs. Anyway, won't spend too much time farting around on these because realistically it is just trials. Now the Titans. Kieran Foran has torn a bicep. So this whole will he play 14, will he start in the halves, has been answered. And this makes me pretty keen on AJ because he averages above 60 when he plays 5'8", which is above what he's priced at. And I like it. And I also really like Keanu Kinney. If I can scrape together the extra money, I would love to go Keanu Kinney over Walsh. Only issue with that is that round 1 bye. But at least you don't have to think about buys for Titans players once that's over. So, player stats. Top performing players. In this one, we've got Sean O'Sullivan and Sam Verrills with the most tackles for their respective teams. Jermaine Asako and Brian Kelly with 223 run meters. That's huge. 144 for Asako. 2 line breaks each for Mark Mickles and AJ Brimson. and then Mark Nichols and AJ Brimson also taking the most fantasy points. Hammer could be more involved, but I don't think we're really looking at him, considering he's only a fullback in Supercoach, that is. Fino Fuiaki, he had a good game, and he's quite popular. I like what I'm seeing from him. 6 hit-ups in 7 runs, so that's a pretty good ratio there. 80 run meters, 42 post-contact, a tackle bust, a line break assist, an offload, 25 tackles with 2 missed tackles. I don't mind it. He's not in my team at the moment, but I may consider him. Plath, not too much to talk about here other than the try assist, and that seems to be about it. Line break assist, offload, 33 tackles, standard stuff from him. Herbie, bit quiet, but realistically, how many people of us are seriously looking at Herbie? Tom Gilbert, how did he go? 5 hit-ups, 6 runs, 56 run meters, 17 post contacts. Not too exciting there, looking pretty meat and potatoes from him, but if you're buying him, that's what you're buying him for. Over at the Titans, Brimo and Campbell being the top point scorers, and I think we can expect that as a standard. They both did very good. Campbell is a player that I always shit myself coming up against in head-to-heads because he can score 100 points in 10 minutes, and that's happened to me before and made me lose weeks a couple of times. So, Cleese Haas and Beau Fermor having great games. Beau Fermor scoring a try with 12 hit-ups, 14 runs, 141 meters, 45 post-contact. Those are some great numbers with a tackle bust, line break, offload, and 31 tackles. Cleese Haas with 38 tackles, 3 offloads, a line break assist, a tackle bust, 110 run meters in 11 runs, 9 of those being hit-ups. So, if Cleese Haas is named, I cannot talk you out of picking him. Fafita, on the other hand, I don't think we're going to be touching. Him and Fermor have swapped sides, and I don't know. It doesn't really seem like Fafita's in the most favor over at the Titans. Tino looked great, so all aboard the Tino train. I'll be finding a way to get him in. He looked really good, really good. Cool. That's that game done. Roosters and Knights. Who the fuck saw this coming? Like, sure, I'm not surprised the Knights won. The Roosters are decimated. Fletcher Sharp was huge in this game. There's a bit of chat that Fletcher Sharp may be a detriment to Ponga a little bit, but it's Ponga. He just pulls points out of his ass. So, if you're worried about Sharp affecting Ponga, I wouldn't worry about it too much. How did Marzu go in this game? So just quickly, most tackles, Nat Butcher and Leo Thompson, respectively. Most run meters, Sandon Smith and Kalen Ponga. I mean, Sandon, he got most of that in one run. He actually was pretty quiet, and there's a lot of chat about people fading him. He's pretty much basement price. Like, he has to properly stink it up to not make any money. But I do see the concern, and it is valid. But it is the Roosters. It's the Glamour Club. You know, I think we just need to be patient with him, if I'm honest. Most fantasy points between Nat Butcher and Dylan Lucas, which I like to see because we want some nice, consistent scores from both of those guys, to be fair. So for the Roosters, in a fantasy sense, Nat Butcher and Tupou, Connor Watson did all right. Not that hot on Watson anymore. I don't know if that's just me, but with the Roosters looking like they're probably going to struggle to put points on at the start of the year at least, maybe Watson, we're just getting our points out of his tackles and the occasional attacking stat. I've been very keen on him for a while, so I'm not so happy about taking him out of my team. But yeah, Vahu White looked good. I still think he's a good option. Just plug and play him. He's one of those ones where if he doesn't go well, he's not going to go well for most of players playing Supercoach. So it's not like that's going to be an issue solely for yourself. Rob Toyer looked good. Billy Smith, the fucking poor guy, has injured his hip, I believe. So Nwakanitawasi and Toyer have pretty much got the spots. So either of them, I would be calling Toyer a must-have now. Nwakanitawasi, either way, if you got the funds for him down in center wing, I don't hate it. But he is new to the game and he will develop. I think for me at least, I'll be watching him maybe for a round 3 trade-in, depending on if he's going up or down. But yeah, we'll worry about that when we get there. Dom Young, quiet. I don't think there's a whole lot more relevant over here. No, let's move over to the Knights. So Dylan Lucas, top scoring in a fantasy sense. He got a try assist, 11 hit-ups, 12 runs, good ratio there. 132 meters, 42 post contact, 4 tackle busts, which we like to see, a line break, an offload, 28 tackles. Beautiful. I love that from Dylan Lucas. He is securely in my center wing 2 or 3. I think 2. Jacob Saifidi also having a good game with 2 tries. Definitely an inflated score there, but I think he might have... no, that was the other Saifidi I think that got hurt. Ponga, 51 fantasy points with a try, 13 runs, 175 meters, 17 post contact, 2 tackle busts, a line break. Yeah, pretty not spectacular, but good to see that he's not scoring low, because we did get a few of those last year. Kaipis Paul looked a lot better. Are we looking at him? Probably not. Jaden Brayley, as a pod, I don't hate it. I don't know what he's priced at. He's probably around the 500k mark, which is way more than I'm looking to spend in hooker. Don't think there's too much else to talk about here. Fletcher Sharp was great. Greg Marzu. Okay, just quickly on Fletcher Sharp. He scored 40 fantasy points. So he got 2 tries, 7 runs for 123 meters, a line break, assist. So in the stats, it doesn't actually look that good. And I think people who are considering Fletcher Sharp, that may be a little bit reactionary. He is also very expensive, so I don't think many people will realistically. Greg Marzu with a try assist, 138 meters, 47 of which post contact, which is pretty good. 4 tackle busts, which is great. Line break. Was I looking at the right person? Yeah. Yeah, cool. I really liked the Cogger and Sharp combination. We'll see what halves pairing we get next week with them. But with a performance like that, I think you got to give him another go, right? This one surprised me. I had a multi for Roosters 1 to 12 and Storm 13 plus. This is very, very unlike Storm, especially against the Cowboys who got flogged last week. Again, just a trial. Everyone knows it's just a trial. Relax. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. And you see that they scored these 3 tries late, so it was like a fucking toweling up. So watch out for Storm round 1. They're going to be looking to hold that record of consecutive round 1 wins, and they're going to be out for revenge. Which we thought they were going to be out for revenge this week, but it's just a trial at the end of the day. So, Eli Katoa and Reece Robson with the most tackles respectively. Faolongo and Drinkwater with the most run meters. Jackson Purdue with 2 line breaks. And Stefano getting the most fantasy points with 72, which is a lot of fantasy points. Don't know how that translates to Supercoach, but it's good to see him doing well. He's one of those players. I think it was Savs that said this, and I've nicked it off him. Stefano, when he's in your team, it just looks good. It looks really good. And I think I'm going to have to find a way to get him in off that performance because he has really good potential. We had a much better game from Wishart this game. With Jerome Hughes having a little niggle, we could see Wishart come in, albeit not for very long, I would imagine. And Storm have a bye round 2, so they may just rest Hughes until round 3. So yeah, maybe don't go him. Sean Bloor had a good game. Harry Grant did okay despite getting a sin bin. It's hard to know how much to take from this, especially when the NRL app is telling me that every single one of these players played 80 minutes, which is not possible. I think that is all the relevance here. Jack Howarth. Fade him. I think we need to let him kind of grow into the NRL a little bit more before he becomes a Supercoach option. There's going to be weeks where he gets like a try and an assist and everyone's like, oh my god, he's the option. But I wasn't that keen on what I saw. And with Hughes being out for round 1, yeah, I don't love it anymore. Moving over to the Cowboys, who I honestly thought they were spoon contenders. And I'm not going to let a trial match completely change my mind on them, but they're not as dog shit as I thought. So, Scott Drinkwater, top scoring, with 2 tries, a try assist, 156 metres, 3 tackle busts, a line break, 2 line break assists, and an offload with 1 error. It's pretty much what you get from Drinky. If you're not getting any attacking stats, then he can burn you. But he got them this game. Nanai had a good game with 2 try assists, 152 metres, 3 tackle busts, a line break, 2 missed tackles. It's alright, it's not terrible. Duffy with 311 kick metres, and also the conversions. This is tough. I want to start with Cleary and Hines, but I'm not picking Iongi. So I almost feel like I need to take one of these big potential cheapies. If it's not going to be Iongi, it might have to be Duffy. But then I'm losing out on Hines for him. So, yeah. It's tough. He could be another one just to look at round 3 to downgrade to, take that cash injection. But you don't want to be doing that too much because it is burning trades. And there's no guarantee that these players you bring in are going to make you the money you need. Jackson Purdue, must have. Just get him in. 257k, and he's got that spot. Just get him in. You won't regret it. Maybe you will, but if you do, you can just roast me in the comments. It's fine. John Bateman did okay, I suppose. 7 hit-ups, 7 runs. I don't know how many minutes he played, so I don't really know what to take from this, but he did get 3 tackle busts. 5 missed tackles, though. So, can't say I love that. So that's all the trials. Again, trials, they help you kind of make decisions if you're stuck between 2 players or just getting a look at these players is really good. So we'll go to next week. So for the bets, there's something I've always wanted to do in round 1, and every single year I've forgotten to do it, and every single year it would have worked out for me. If this wants to load. Okay, it doesn't want to load, so we'll just come over here instead. Alright. As for the bets last week, no luck. We did have a comment wanting to back Para, which I admittedly forgot to put on, but they lost anyway. If there is a situation where I forget to put a bet on and it does get up, I will just pay the odds out of my own money, because that's pretty slack if that does happen, so I don't want you guys to lose out if I'm a dickhead about something. So you can see the budget has been raised to $30, and that is because I'm going to divide $20 between all the underdogs for round 1. every single year, I've worked it out afterwards and it would make money back. There just always seems to be a couple of upsets and I want a part of it. So $20 of the budget will go towards that. The remaining $10 will be split between all the comments of whatever bets you like. So feel free to leave those there on this video or when I go over the teams list for Vegas. Whoa, what happened there? Beautiful. I believe that is all. There's the code there for the group league. Don't forget to join. We are pushing 200 people in the league, so it's heating up. Vegas is coming up. I can't fucking wait. Maybe we'll have to do some Vegas specific bets as well, I think. Maybe around some like shithousery. Do any of the players get in trouble over there? We could set a price for that. I don't know. We'll see how we go. I'll think about it through the week. Thanks for watching, guys. Join the league. Appreciate you all. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. Uru. See you for teams lists.